Have you ever felt that strange tension around someone where everything looks normal on the surface but deep inside something feels off, like your intuition is whispering a warning you cannot fully explain? They smile at you, they talk politely, they even act supportive, but somehow you still feel uncomfortable around them, almost as if their energy does not match their words. What if I told you that your mind is picking up signals long before your conscious brain understands them? According to psychological insights inspired by Jung, humans are extremely sensitive to hidden emotional cues, and when someone secretly dislikes you, their unconscious behavior often reveals the truth, even when they try to hide it. In this video, you will discover 7 powerful signs that someone does not like you even if they pretend they do, and some of these signs are so subtle that once you notice them, you will never see people the same way again. Sign number 1, they show forced politeness. Instead of natural warmth, when someone genuinely likes you, their warmth feels effortless, their smile reaches their eyes, their tone feels relaxed, and their body language opens toward you. But when someone is pretending, there is often a mechanical quality to their kindness. They are polite but distant, friendly but controlled, almost like they are following social rules. Instead of expressing real emotion, you might notice that conversations feel slightly tense or rehearsed, like there is the invisible barrier between you and them. This happens because emotions cannot be completely faked. The unconscious always leaks through micro-expressions, tone shifts, and subtle hesitation. Your intuition senses this mismatch between behavior and feeling, which creates that uncomfortable vibe you cannot explain. Sign number 2, they rarely initiate contact but respond when you do. People who enjoy your presence naturally seek opportunities to interact with you. They text first, they start conversations, they include you in plans, but someone who secretly dislikes you often avoids initiating contact while still responding politely. When you reach out, this creates an illusion of friendliness, but the effort is one-sided. If you stopped contacting them, the connection would probably disappear completely. This pattern reveals emotional indifference or hidden dislike, because genuine interest always creates mutual effort. Relationships are driven by energy exchange, and when only one person invests energy, the imbalance becomes obvious over time. Sign number 3, their compliments feel empty or slightly backhanded. Sometimes people who dislike you still offer compliments, but there is something strange about them. Maybe the praise, it feels exaggerated, unnatural, or followed by a subtle negative twist, like "You look good today. You usually do not dress like that," or "Wow, you actually did a great job. I did not expect that." These comments may sound positive on the surface, but they carry an undertone of comparison, surprise, or judgment. This happens because their unconscious resentment leaks into their language. They cannot fully celebrate your success because internally they do not want to uplift you. Your mind detects this contradiction, which creates emotional discomfort even if you cannot immediately explain why. Sign number 4, their body language does not match their words. The human body is far more honest than the mouth. Someone might say they enjoy talking with you, but their feet point away from you, their arms stay crossed, or their torso leans back, creating physical distance. They may check their phone frequently, avoid prolonged eye contact, or subtly angle their body toward an exit. These nonverbal signals are controlled by subconscious emotional responses, not deliberate decisions, meaning they reveal true feelings more accurately than spoken words. When someone likes you, their body naturally orients toward you. When they dislike, your body creates distance even if they try to appear friendly. Understanding this difference can instantly change how you interpret social interactions, because you begin to trust behavior over words, and once you start noticing these small inconsistencies, you realize how often people communicate emotions without speaking them, and this awareness leads us to the next deeper signs, which are even more revealing because they involve emotional reactions that people struggle to control completely, and those signs might surprise you. Sign number 5, they subtly compete with you instead of supporting you. When someone genuinely likes you, your success feels like a shared victory to them. They celebrate your achievements, encourage your growth, and show excitement when good things that happen in your life. But when someone secretly dislikes you, your progress can trigger insecurity, comparison, or even jealousy, and this often appears as subtle competition rather than obvious hostility. For example, they may try to one-up your stories, redirect attention toward themselves when you share something positive, or minimize your accomplishments with comments like "That's nice, but it's not that big of a deal," or "I did something similar once." This behavior is rarely conscious. In fact, many people do not even realize they are competing, but the emotional motive is clear. They feel threatened by your presence instead of inspired by it. Psychologically, this reaction comes from ego protection mechanisms, where another person's success that activates feelings of inadequacy, and rather than confronting those feelings, the mind turns them into rivalry. This creates tension in the relationship because instead of emotional safety, there is an undercurrent of comparison and competition, and your intuition senses that you are not fully accepted. Sign number 6, they show micro-expressions of irritation or impatience around you. One of the most powerful indicators of hidden dislike is emotional leakage through brief facial expressions or tone shifts. These are called micro-expressions, and they happen in fractions of a second, often before the person consciously controls their reaction. You might notice a quick eye roll, a flash of annoyance, a sigh, a tightening jaw, or a sudden change in voice when you speak. Sometimes it appears as impatience when you take too long to explain something, or mild frustration when you ask questions, even though they quickly return to a polite attitude afterward. These moments are extremely revealing because they come directly from the unconscious emotional response. People can control words, but they cannot fully control instinctive reactions, and irritation is one of the hardest emotions to hide. If someone consistently shows small signs of annoyance around you, it usually means your presence creates internal tension for them. This does not always mean hatred. Sometimes it reflects unresolved emotions, insecurity, or past judgments. But the important point is that the emotional foundation is not positive, and relationships built on hidden irritation rarely feel comfortable for long. What makes this particularly confusing is that after these small flashes of negativity, the person often compensates by acting extra friendly, which creates emotional whiplash for you. One moment you sense discomfort, the next moment they appear kind. This inconsistency can make you doubt your own perception. You might wonder if you are imagining things or being too sensitive, but in reality, your brain is detecting subtle emotional contradictions. Humans evolved to read social threats quickly because recognizing hidden hostility was once essential for survival. So when your intuition tells you something feels off, there is usually a real psychological signal behind that feeling. And understanding these patterns can protect you from investing emotional energy in relationships that are not truly supportive, because the biggest mistake people make is ignoring early warning signs, hoping that things will change. But hidden dislike often remains stable over time unless consciously addressed. And that leads to the final sign, which is perhaps the most important one, because it reveals the deepest truth about how someone feels toward you, and once you recognize it, you will never misinterpret false friendliness again. Sign number 7. You feel emotionally drained after interacting with them. One of the clearest indicators that someone secretly dislikes you is not what they do, but how you feel after spending time with them. When you are around people who genuinely appreciate you, your nervous system relaxes. You feel lighter, calmer, and more energized, even if the conversation was simple. But when someone harbors hidden negativity toward you, your body often detects subconsciously and responds with tension. You may leave interactions feeling exhausted, confused, anxious, or slightly inadequate, without understanding why this happens, because humans constantly exchange emotional signals beneath conscious awareness. Tone, facial tension, posture, pauses, and subtle reactions all communicate information to the nervous system. When someone internally rejects you, even if they act polite, your brain senses the mismatch and activates mild stress responses. Over time, this creates emotional fatigue and self-doubt. You might start overthinking conversations, wondering if you said something wrong, replaying moments in your mind, or questioning your worth. This is not because you are insecure, it is because your intuition is trying to warn you that the connection and lacks genuine acceptance. According to psychological perspectives influenced by Carl Jung, the unconscious mind perceives truths long before conscious awareness catches up, meaning your feelings around someone often reveal more than their words ever could. And here is the deeper truth: not everyone who dislikes you is a bad person. Sometimes people project their own insecurities, fears, or unresolved emotions onto others. Your confidence may remind them of what they lack. Your personality may trigger past experiences, or your presence may activate comparison and ego defense mechanisms. Their reaction says more about their internal world than about your value. But recognizing these signs protects your emotional energy, because when you continue investing in relationships where acceptance is missing, you slowly damage your self-esteem without realizing it. The healthiest response is not confrontation or anger, but awareness and boundaries. You do not need everyone to like you. You only need to recognize who genuinely does. When you stop chasing approval from people who secretly resist you, something powerful happens. Your confidence increases, your anxiety decreases, and your relationships become more authentic, because you naturally gravitate toward those who appreciate you without effort. And the most important lesson is this: trust your intuition. If something consistently feels off, there is usually a reason. Human perception is incredibly accurate when we allow ourselves to listen to it. So the next time you sense hidden negativity behind someone's smile, pause and observe. Do their actions match their words? Does your energy rise or fall around them? Are they supportive or subtly competitive? Because awareness is the first step toward emotional freedom, and once you learn to recognize these 7 signs, you gain the ability to protect your peace, choose healthier connections, and surround yourself with people whose kindness is real, not performed. And that is where true confidence begins.